In January of 2020, little did we know how many people would become content creators. Suddenly, everyone became an influencer. Because the world was shut down, we all were at home and we all gravitated to online. We had to figure out life online. So, if there was something that you needed to learn, you probably learned it from someone that was either creating content for a while or someone that was just getting started. Regardless, now you are a content creator and you are creating content, but the problem is you're not getting paid. What's the reason that you're going to create content just for fun? I'm not that guy. I want to make money from creating content. It's a passion. I'm able to help people, but I also need to sustain my way of life. I need to pay the bills. So, how can you make money as a content creator? Now, if you had that big surge early on in 2020, 2021, and now you've seen that dip or that decline or even down to zero, hopefully in this video I can help you out. Let me know in the comment section your situation. When you got started, and when you realize you had to go back to work, or maybe you never left work, but now that income that you relied on has actively dried up. Now, as a creator, you want to think about how you're showing up on social media. What do I mean by that? You want to make sure that you're showing up in some form or fashion consistently. Now, you've probably heard that before. I'm quite positive you've heard that before. But I don't want you to think about it as an every single day at a certain time or twice a week or three times a week. I want you to think about how you yourself can show up consistently. Now, you can record your content like I am, like 8 videos in one day, so that I can pre-record and upload those when it's best for them to release. That's my strategy. But if you have time during the day and you can just create something, just create it. I know that it might not be your style or it might be a little bit different than the content you had time to produce before. But if you put nothing online, then you're going to generate nothing. I think one thing that people can appreciate, our followers, our subscribers can appreciate, is that we're real people. So if you're using AI all the time, this is probably not going to work for you. But if you're a real person, a real human being that's going through real life stuff, I think people are okay and understanding of that. So feel free to share that without any shame. I've seen a lot of creators talk about the fact that they're not bringing in the money that they used to, or they have to go back to work, which is fine. And ideally, as a creator, we want to be able to monetize our talents, our knowledge, our digital products, our expertise, our services, and not have to rely on someone else to compensate us. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job, because health insurance in the US is a whole nother story. So having a job, or at least a part-time job that just offset that cost, is probably something you may want to just highly consider anyway, especially if you have a family. Now let's jump back into how we can monetize as a creator. Affiliate programs. I want you to think about all the different things that you use to either create content or things that you just happen to feature. Now, one of the things that I use all the time is a camera and a microphone. And as you can see behind me, I'm sitting on this side of my studio space where I create review videos, and I typically post those on Amazon. But along with doing these review videos for Amazon, I also share in the links below the links to the products that I typically use in my studio. So if you want to learn more about them, you can check the link in the bio or the link in the description. So think about the platform that you're using so that you can include your recommended products and services for your audience as well. Now, I also want to think about apparel, merch. One of the best websites that I found out there is a company called Fourth Wall. They cost nothing for you to actually set up a shop. And if you don't sell anything, you're not charged a monthly recurring fee. Now, if you want to check out my brand Creator Strong, you can actually check that out in the comments below. And I'm using the Fourth Wall platform to upload my designs. It's print on demand, so I don't have to keep inventory. It's easy for me to send out uh, demo apparel so people can actually try it out for themselves. Or if I have some friends, I want to just make sure that they're repping the brand, I can do that. I can order some for myself, but obviously, I want my followers to order the product. So it's a way for me to generate revenue that doesn't cost me anything. There's no overhead and there's no monthly fees. So as creators, we definitely want to make sure that we're not spending money that we really don't need to spend. We're not investing money that's not going to get a return on that investment. So by finding some of these sites and some of these services that are available and dedicated to us, it allows us to live a longer creator life. And I think that's what we all want. Now, we also want to talk about brand deals and sponsorships. Now, this is my favorite way of getting monetized because it allows me to feel like I'm part of a company, part of a brand. I love being able to work with brands that I'm just a fan of, brands that I have purchased their products and services. And because it ties into my content, it allows me to monetize something I love doing anyway. And the monetization with brand deals and sponsorships can be pretty significant if you know how to structure it correctly. One of the things that I did that made me a five-figure deal back in 2021 was I was live streaming with a certain software and they paid for all of the shows to be produced, which is a pretty good deal where I could talk about live streaming gear and equipment, especially in 2020 and 2021, where we all needed it. We all were trying to figure it out. Well, I already knew how to do it. I just was teaching other people how to figure it out, but it allowed me to do that and be compensated for it. So I used to have a weekly show every single Monday night, and it was a sponsored show, and it was a nice five-figure deal. Now, I was already doing live streams prior to that. So this was a bonus on top of being able to more freely show up and share my expertise and get paid for it. So if you're working with certain companies, make sure that you begin to know your worth. Make sure that you ask for what you're worth. You can always create content for free, but it's a lot better when you're able to monetize it as well. So if you're looking to monetize your content, definitely I encourage you to check out the 5 day wellness challenge because one of the days is a day dedicated to monetization. If you're not creating your own digital products, your digital assets, why are you just showing up on social media? Are you just an entertainment channel? Which is just fine, but you should learn how to navigate and weave in sponsorships, affiliates, links and bios, things that actually allow your audience or subscribers to help offset those costs and monetize you, allow you to live a lifestyle that's comfortable so that you can actually continue to create content. Just thinking out loud.